So here's me knocking out all the sound deadening on the floor. Had to see it was underneath. It actually turned out on both sides to be pretty solid. I didn't use dry ice or anything like that. I just kind of took a putty knife and one of those seam busters, those spot weld busters, and I just started going at it with a hammer. It worked fine. It was all brittle. It was pretty cold out in the garage. But it cleaned up real nice. I was shocked at how good it looked there. And here's the other side, passenger side. And it came out clean as well. The whole thing smelled like rat and mouse, so I washed it down afterwards. And here I'm going to pull the windshield. I think I explained later in the video. I've done it once before in a parts car, and I didn't cut the seal, and I broke the windshield at like the last step. So I wasn't going to take any risks. I just said, screw it, cut the seal. Once the seal was cut, it came out pretty easy. So the windshield's in good shape. There's no chips in it. So that worked out pretty well. Here goes nothing. Oh, it's heavy. Well, heavier than I thought it would be. Cut the seal apart because I tried to remove on a parts car once, and I didn't do that. I ended up breaking the windshield. So I think the seal is like $200 on Mr. Fiat. So I guess I'll get the shot. Good. That's nice. The rust here. Isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, it's not good. One little pinhole there. And nothing some poor 15 can't fix. Hell yeah. That's nice. Definitely a relief. Yeah, none of that goes through. Those are just surface crap. I did find a pinhole. There. This isn't going to be the worst thing to patch. But yeah, overall, I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Here's the windshield. I got to find somewhere safe to place this, but hell yeah. All right, that was easier than expected. I had to pull the dash to get at some of the rust in the cowling. It wasn't too bad of a job to pull the dash. The only thing was that HVAC box was a pain to drop. Later on, I realized I could have left it in there and disconnected it after, which would have been a heck of a lot easier. But because that air box kind of stays, you lift it off of there. So, oh well, I'll get it back together. I started cleaning up some of the surface rust that was on the right-hand side. The right-hand side had a lot of surface rust, but it was pretty good. The left side, as you'll see, not so much, but it was going pretty well at this point. And then here, I don't know what the heck I decided to do. I just looked at that spot on the floor, and I guess it bothered me. And so I got kind of ADHD and went at that for a little while. Still haven't done anything about that, but it's there. Now, this was the real sad part of the car. That A-pillar was totally rotted out where I met the cowl. I was shocked to see it that bad. I mean, it's not a sunroof car, so water was getting in there somehow and really pooling in there. I'm surprised the previous owner didn't shoot it full of expanding foam like they did the rockers and everything else. But I guess that helped save it, not sending any of that crap in there. But yeah, I just cut it off and knocked out the spot welds, tried to keep it in one piece so I could replicate it. Inside the channel is pretty good, but obviously the outside's bad, right where it meets the cowl. Here I'm making the template out of cardboard. I like the thin cardboard, not corrugated, or like a manila folder. I think is the easiest for me. But I kind of folded it in the shape I wanted it, made some marks, and then after I had it all nice, I flattened it out and cut it out on a piece of sheet metal. Here it looks pretty good. I should have just sprayed the cardboard and called it a day, and nobody would be the wiser. I don't want to hear anything about grinder safety. OSHA doesn't come to my house, and I don't want them to. We have a pretty nice bending break at work, so after work one day, I just took my marks and the two pieces I made and bent them up. The hardest part was setting up the camera. And here see it clamped in. My buddy Facundo's in the background running around, measuring stuff to redo the lights in the garage because they're all fluorescents and plugged in, and I got to plug in like 17 plugs to get the lights on, so we're going to rewire all that. At this point, I've already done it. It's great now. But yeah, I just clamped it in, bunch of welding clamps, and hammered it, made it fit nice, did a little bit of trimming. The real problem is taking those welding clamps home from work. Then I needed them the other day, and I'm like, crap, I guess every mechanic homeowner ends up taking stuff home, and then they need it, and now you got to buy two of everything, which sucks. But yeah, I welded in pretty nice. The metal I was welding to was in good shape. I cut it back far enough, so I was pretty happy with that. These Harbor Freight finger sanders are amazing. I have a pneumatic one and an electric one, and they're great. I have a nice one at work, a nice pneumatic one, but for $30, I mean, the pneumatic one is just as good as the $200 one. And here I'm patching that little area in there. Pretty easy. But I went in good, and then I hit the whole area with Pour 15. Next, I'm going to put on the new old stock fender. But yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten so far. Just try to do a little bit of work on it at least once a week. Hopefully get it done sooner than later. But so far, so good.